Welcome to Black Girl Say Something, where this black girl has something to say. And I realize it's been exactly 1 month since I've posted an episode to the podcast. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Baby, I had to get my mental health under control. And while I've been posting consistently on TikTok, here and there on YouTube, I just could not find the words to say. As a black girl with something to say, I know, right? But with that being said, let's just say your girl is on Lexapro and it's been about 3 weeks and we're doing really well. My headspace is in a space where I can only think about the good. And December 15th, 2025, after 4 years and 2 days, the divorce is final, y'all. The divorce is final. But all in all, let's just say within a week of each other, my home went into pre-foreclosure. I'm filing for bankruptcy and my divorce is final. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. Your girl I've been going through. And I appreciate the people that's been checking on me like, hey girl, where you been? And I'm like, hey, I'm on TikTok. And then y'all like, okay, you look like you're doing all right. No, baby. Shambles, darling. Shambles. Life was in shambles. But I feel like now that I'm divorced, I feel like there's a level ground. I feel my footing. I don't know how to explain it. I feel my feet are planted on solid ground, if that makes sense. Solid ground for a new build, for a rebuilding. Because 2025, I ain't gonna lie, we have 2 weeks left in 2025 just about. 2025 really whooped your girl, and it started at the mid of 2024, and I've been having thoughts about different phases in my life where I went from rags to riches. And I would want to say in my 38 years of life that I'm in my second phase of a rags to riches story, considering the fact that I'm not going to let no one throw me off my track. My children are in therapy. My mental health is under control. My divorce is final. We're in a final parenting plan. I get to keep my home. I get to be in a space where I use my home to buy peace, essentially. When our youngest in 70 years is 18, I could refinance or sell the house and give him $50,000. And I just said I don't want any child support from retroactive from the last 4 years or going forward. So I negated $93,000 of support. I don't need it. I've been taking care of them by myself financially. And when they're with him, like it's this, at the time I'm recording this is a Saturday. Funny story. I recorded an episode on Friday to tell y'all all of this, and the episode didn't save. And I guess I had to go back to the brick and mortar of I'm home by myself right now. And it just feels so strange because I had to go back to the brick and mortar of bringing out the microphone. You know, your girl started with the little podcast mic in her room with her laptop, and I had to get back to that. And so now that I'm back to that, I honestly want to say, if you are in a space, this is just a little mental health PSA. If you find yourself in a space where you have been in therapy for the better part of a year or so, and you've gained all of the coping skills, you've even got discharged from therapy, it is time to take a more medical look at your mental health. Not saying you might need medication, but you might need to get a psych eval. When I tell you the day that I took the medicine, I got a prescription, picked it up on a Wednesday, started work on a Thursday, and they prescribed me to take half of the pill for 7 days. That first day, in the middle of me teaching, I felt sadness be removed from me. And it was almost like time paused for a quick second, so much so that I gave my class a break so I could run to the bathroom and just take some deep breaths. And then I came back to the class and I was like, oh, all of the tabs in my brain, all of the worry, all of the doubt, all of the things that were bogging me down kind of went away. And interestingly enough, when I had my final mediation for this divorce, I was so even keeled. Even my lawyer was like, you seem different. And I told her, and she was like, oh, I understand. They don't need to know that about you. And I was like, yeah, I'm in a better space. I feel so even keel. And this is where this black girl has something to say, essentially, about taking care of your mental health. Realizing, I did come to a realization where I felt so much better. Even my children have said, you know what, mommy, even if we're running late in the mornings, it doesn't turn into this thing where you're upset with us. And as a Black woman, you have to realize too, if you're finding yourself being overly irritable with your children or just people around you, or just situations that happen, feel like they're happening to you and not around you and not for you, get that extra help that you need. I did it. And let me tell you something. I got a new lease on life. And I'm about to be 40. Like, I want to be my best self. I'm 38. I got one more year left in the 30s. I'm going to make it the best. Like, I'm about to be 39 October of 2026. And I'm finally divorced. It's like I spent my whole 20s married. I spent most of my 30s trying to get divorced. Like, come on. Like, honestly, I'm down 10 pounds because when you take care of your mental health, your cortisol levels go down. Your stress hormone, the cortisol is the stress hormones, that decreases. My thyroid is good because I don't know if I remember telling y'all a while back that I was dealing with issues with my thyroid, which never really overly resolved, but now it's resolved. And so the kids are with him every other weekend on a pick up and drop off basis until he gets adequate housing. And I am just really, really excited. I had started a series on TikTok called Dilly Dally with Me. And in the middle of doing the Dilly Dally with Me series, Dilly Dally with Me while my children are supervised visits. And then we turned into unsupervised visits. Then we turned into the exchanges, being closer to the house at a Starbucks. And then, they spent Thanksgiving with him. It's so much I got to catch y'all up on. They're also going to spend Christmas with him. And then going forward, we're going to alternate Christmas and Thanksgiving. And I think New Year's or something like that. But it is what it was. And I'm just so much more at peace mentally. My lawyer left me with a nice message where she said, I'm just glad that your children are stronger. And I'm glad that you got, to keep them in a home that they grew up in. My son is 11. I bought this house. My son had just turned 2. He turned 3 years old in this house. The year he turned 2 was August 2016. The house was purchased September. So he turned 2 in the middle of purchasing this home. Why would you want the house to be sold? Like, I don't think sometimes people think of the best interest of their children when they get to this place. But I can honestly say I'm glad that I'm in the better place mentally. I'm back. I think I'm back better than ever. Black Girl Say Something. I think if y'all want, y'all could always let me know. I can do a breakdown of what took place throughout the divorce process. I had stopped talking about it because I didn't want anything that I say to be used against me in a court of law, I guess you could say. But I can talk more freely about my realizations in the midst of a divorce. I also can talk about what led up. I think I've talked about it, what led up to getting divorced. But I feel like I have a new lease on life and a clearer lens to some of those realizations. And honestly, the advice that was given to me is that from someone that I know and trust was advice that I was able to give to my lawyer, and she was able to advocate for that advice for me. And that's what got me to keep my house. But yeah, y'all go ahead, check your girl out on TikTok, subscribe over on YouTube. On YouTube, I'm doing 31 days of Vlogmas. So yeah, we're up to like day, what is today? 19, 20, something like that. Over on YouTube, as well as like us on Facebook. And don't forget, the podcast is back better than ever. So always, we look forward to you leaving a review, following us. I saw my Spotify Wrapped. Your podcast is internationally known, which I'm so grateful for. I know Spotify now has a follow feature, so you can follow us on the podcast and get notified when new episodes drop. Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review. And wherever else you listen to the podcast, you're more than welcome to leave a review. I'm looking at having guests and things like that. I did post a video to my TikTok about my 2025 accomplishments. We got 30,000 followers on TikTok, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. My mental health got under control. I secured 2 contracts, one as a professor and one independent. And my divorce got final. 2025. to think this thing all started in December 2021, and I got my Christmas gift, something that I've been writing on my vision board for years. I might not have accomplished nothing really on my vision board this year, but baby, I accomplished that divorce. And for that, I am so proud, and I am so pleased, and I am so ecstatic. I don't know how to explain the happiness and the warmth that my heart feels for the fact that my divorce is final. Anywho, there's some links in the descriptions of this episode. Y'all can definitely make sure y'all click them. And if y'all want to donate to my lawyer fund, because my lawyer just gave me that final bill, and let's just say your girl gonna probably need to start a GoFundMe or something. Anywho, until next time, remember, there's so many episodes you can tune into Black Girl Say Something. So just sit back, relax while you cleaning up and catch up. And I'll try to get back to posting episodes every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, thank you for listening. Because this Black girl has something to say, you just listened to Black Girl Say Something.